Hey, Rehett Drennenn here. Just got interviewed by Keith Andrew. I totally recommend what he's doing for anybody out there. Keep up the good work, dude, and enjoy the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 710. I'm here with Professor Rehett Drennenn. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem.
No, the honor is all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you want to be. You should prove to them you can stand out to something. So with that being said, it's a half hour every time. You can say anything you want, talk about anything you want. PG-13. And the first question I want to tell our audience is that you are a professional actor, singer, dancer, and you are a musician. So out of those four things that I just mentioned, what was the very first thing that influenced you to become an actor?
The first thing that encouraged me to become an actor. I really like the perspective of acting where you can become and portray somebody in the eyes through your eyes, but you still become them. And I think it's really cool how you can sometimes just not be yourself. I don't think that I hate myself or anything, but I'm saying I love how it's so cool how you can just become somebody else, and I find it really fun to be somebody else for a little bit. So
No, absolutely. It's a great time, great experience to just pretty much step out of your shell and you pretend to be anyone you want to be.
Yeah, I know.
Now, the next one I want to ask you is, who influenced you to become, well, I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting ones, but I'm going to ask you the easy ones first.
Okay.
Who influenced you to become a professional singer?
Okay, so it's kind of like an interesting story. So first, before I did vocals, I started playing music, and I had a ukulele, and I used to play songs just because, I liked it. And then my mom's like, maybe I should get him vocal lessons. So from then on, I started singing with my songs, doing things of that matter, but now sometimes even just singing for certain projects. But for the most part, it was my mom. So.
No, absolutely. And do you want to, some of the favorite groups that influence you to become a singer? Are you into rock and roll, country?
I really like pop rock. The Beatles are great. Those really nice classic rock. No, I'm not a huge fan of heavy metal. It's just find pop rock more, you can absorb the music more. And I also like alternative, everything in that kind of pop rockish kind of genre. I'm a big fan of, but I also like some other stuff. I like some rap, but mainly it's just pop rock. So.
All right. What about dancing influenced you to become a dancer?
Well, so I know. So I was thinking one time, I'm like, man, it'd be kind of good to dance, but I don't really like dancing because I'm kind of stiff. So my mom encouraged me to do dancing. First of all, it helps you loosen up, which is good for acting because, you need to be loose in the camera. But also, it's a great skill to have, being able to do dancing, singing, and acting. Having those three really boosts your value as a professional worker in the industry. So yeah, I've been taking dance lessons for almost a year now. I've been doing ballet and tap, which are, from what I've heard, kind of the basics. But yeah, it's my mom again. She's big into the industry. So
And the last one I want to touch on is you mentioned you're a musician. So what favorite instruments do you like playing?
hmm, probably I play electric bass. That's a really fun one because I really like percussion stuff. Like I play cajon, but you don't really need to take lessons for cajon if you have the basics of percussion. But I really do like those kind of percussion-y kind of musical instruments. So bass goes along those lines. So that's got to be my favorite. And I just find it really fun to play.
Oh, absolutely. Now, with school around the corner, are you excited to going back, or are you on the fence about going back? How you feel about it?
I'm kind of in between. Like so going back to school sounds great until you hear what you have to do that. Like, we just started school. Yesterday was our first day and we did online learning. We're going to be doing that until like September 11th. And then we're going to do where you can go back to school, but you have to wear masks and social distance, which I'm not a fan of. So I think they're going to give you the option to do just online learning. And I think I think I'd opt for doing online learning. So, but I'm kind of controversial about going back. Like on Thursday, I'm like, dude, this is really, really different. Because last year it was easier because I had all the stuff. I knew how everything worked. But now you launch right into it, a whole new grade, and you're not in the flow of how some teachers work. Because, a lot of teachers have teaching methods that are great, but they're just different. And I'm not saying different's a great thing. I'm just saying, like, sometimes difference can be a little confusing at first. But just I'm pretty controversial about that.
Well, the one thing I do want to say is, personally, for me, I don't have any kids, on the fence about that. But say about 20 years ago, I was in your position. There's an internet just came out, so it might have been some online learning here and there. But, just to give you my point of view, I probably would have been like, either go to school or don't learn anything. But now you have so much technology at your fingertips, it's kind of like, okay, now it's more reasonable to, don't go to school, but you can do all these things. But the biggest thing for me is I'm not doing anything like autograph sign-ins or you getting interviewed in person until there's a vaccine. Until everyone, and your parents probably might agree with me, until every single person gets vaccinated, it's really not a good idea to go into a situation. I'll give you an example. The gyms are now open, and there's some places in New York City are now doing phase 4. So yeah, it's great that you can go to the beach, but you still have to social distance and all that. But the truth is, you're just waiting for the shit to hit the fan, number one, and you're waiting for something to really happen. For an example, look in New Jersey, California, Florida. They said, oh, we can go outside now, look at the beach. And now their numbers are back up higher than they were. So it's for school, personally, I actually think there should not be school. Just stay home, do the online learning, and hopefully, eventually, this will go away too. Because I know you probably want to have the normal school experience.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, not as the current situation, but if it was normal, yeah, totally.
No, I agree. I was reading most of the things were saying about, you have to keep social distancing in the hallway, and the school bus will be half full. So you have one person here, one person in the back. It's like, you're setting all these things up, but you're waiting for the bottom to drop out. So it's kind of like one of those phases, just leave it alone. But, people don't listen. They're going to do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of funny. So about, for the first month in, I was like, dude, this is awesome. I don't have to go to school, and online learning was kind of easy. I mean, for me, but my sisters, I can't exactly say the same thing. But it's funny because 3 months in, I was like, dude, it's kind of funny how it just hits you like, dude, I kind of like normal school better. But in the moment, everyone was like, yes, we don't have to go to school, because we had a half day for online learning. So we're like, dude, that's an extra like 4 hours. But then it hits you, you're like, wow, you kind of miss the old vibes. So.
No, I agree with you. And, it's kind of like, actually, I was going to say something. I just forgot what it was. Let's go to the next question. What were some of your favorite school activities that you enjoyed and what you hated?
For school activities, you mean?
Yeah, like classes, like gym class or whatever.
Yeah. I really liked science because at my school they do science very unconventionally. Like, so when they introduce the topic, you're like, is this really science? And then you get into it and you're like, oh wait, it kind of is. But it's like so fun because my school does it they do really cool ways of learning. I wouldn't call it experimental learning, but it's very unique. But normally I'm not a big fan of Spanish, only because, I mean, I love learning new languages and stuff, but I don't like it for 45 minutes because eventually you kind of like after 20 minutes you kind of run out of topics to get. So then for the rest of class you just have a big worksheet and it's like, oh man, if this was like 20 minutes, we just learn the important stuff and then we wouldn't have to deal with all the minor add-ons at the end. But I never did like art. I've never been an art person. Like my sister's like, do art, it's so stress relieving, but I'm like, I've tried it. It's kind of stress giving, but everything else I think is just in between. So
I agree with you. I thought art would be the easiest thing, or at least I can ask for the simplest thing. Here's a clay. Make a pot and make like a castle. Because my brothers, I don't know, are you the youngest or?
I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger sisters.
Oh, well, we're the opposite. I'm actually the youngest and the baby of the family. 4 brothers and 1 sister. And I always sort of art projects like, oh, they made this cool little castle thing, and I want to take it. And let me give you a little test. Do you know what the primary colors are?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Close. Oh. And those are 3. There's 3 left.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
I'm not really sure about purple, but you're close.
Red, for me, orange, yellow, green, blue.
Red.
Oh, did I say red at the beginning?
It's red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and I keep forgetting what the last one is.
Oh, okay.
We started on the secondary ones. I really don't know. So for me, that's why I failed, because I couldn't remember that.
Oh.
Also, what other, art history, and it's like, this is boring. Let's give me like a paint and let me express myself. And I'm not like a Michelangelo or anything, but at least, make it fun. For me, the one thing that I didn't like about school, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it. Fake friends, teachers were, a-holes. And I bet you get it. Some teachers are like, oh, this teacher is great, really wonderful. And you say, I really hate this teacher. This teacher's an ass. But I bet you get that. But one class, I actually failed. And everyone's like, how can you fail this class? I actually failed gym class. And for me, I didn't like changing in the locker room. So because I actually participated in the activities and whatever, because I never changed, they actually failed me for not that. So,
Yeah, I like that kind of same thing happened to me. So all my other things, I was acing all of my other tests and stuff. And then we had this one project. And because of a communication error, that dropped my grade by like 20%. So it's kind of tough, but I mean, what happens, happens, you know?
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, what were some of your favorite acting skits, and what are some of your favorite acting things you want to do in the future? For an example, what were some of your favorite past tense things that you accomplished?
Well, you know, we do um, well, we were recording a song because we do an event every summer. We do a children's event, and we were recording a song. They do an awesome job on it, but we were recording a song, and I was helping write it, and we were all like, "Dude, I don't know who's gonna sing this song." So then, look, somebody gets the idea, like, hey, Rhett could do this. So I sang that. That was lots of fun because it was so cool seeing how something you wrote, you got to like sing it, and then you see the outcome, and it's just so awesome. But when it comes to acting, it's probably this one musical I did. It's called it's based off a children's book series. It's called Junie B. Jones. It was so fun. The cast was amazing, but it was like a blast because I got to be one of the main characters, and it was just so fun because they did such an awesome job. But yeah, I've had great experiences, but those are the highlights.
No, I agree. Now, what are the ones that you want to focus on? Do you want to be more on TV? Do you want to focus on voiceovers? Do you want to do more commercials?
You know, I think I'm just gonna wait because right now I'm kind of waiting to experience all of these because when you hear about people in the industry telling you which side is good or not, it could be kind of controversial because many people can say like, oh, the commercial industry is very confusing. Then some are like, oh, it's a piece of cake. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to prove it by yourself. It's like if you can't get the job done, just do it yourself. It's that kind of thing. But right now we're just waiting to see what doors open up and which ones close, you know?
Oh, I agree. And I give you an example. Are you a Nickelodeon fan? I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but do you like Nickelodeon?
Yeah, there's a few shows I like, but I kind of watch others, I kind of watch really quite a few things. Just, it's kind of all rounded, not on like one channel, but I mean, that's, I guess so. I mean, kind of. There's a few shows I really like, but then the others I'm just not interested.
No, I understand. Like for an example, the reason I bring it up is there's actress from iCarly. She was in the School of Rock, and she was in Drake and Jaws. You probably know who I'm thinking of. And she stopped acting, and people said to her, "Why did you stop acting?" And she said, I've been in movies, I've been on TV shows. I actually just want to be a kid. And one thing I will say to you is don't rush. I always tell people don't do things half-ass. If you are very passionate about what you're doing, give 110% of it. Don't say, well, I really don't want to be doing this now, but let me try it, because all you're going to do is set yourself up for failure,
Yeah.
and you're going to waste everyone else's time. But at the same time, I want you to enjoy your life, spend time with the family, do kid things,
Yeah.
because the acting world isn't going anywhere, but your childhood is a special time in your life where he's like, you know what, do you want to look back, say, when I saw opportunities, I took them left and right, or do you want to say, you know what, I actually enjoyed both of them, so it's a 50-50.
Yeah, I'm a very firm believer in the 50-50, or just do whatever's on your mind. I totally believe in never doing something that you're not a big fan of just to get the approval of certain people, because in about 10 years, when you're in college, they're not going to mean anything, but what you missed out on will, and you'll be like, dang, it'll be like so it will be the sorry for yourself kind of thing. But I'm a very firm believer in, like, don't don't like commit to something that's not going anywhere, but by missing out on something that is going somewhere. It's kind of like the philosophy, like it's kind of like if there's like a, never mind actually, but I'm a very firm believer in the do whatever's on your mind and whatever will make you happy. But
No, I agree. Well, let me ask you this last question. With everything that you accomplished in your life, that you are a singer, musician, dancer, how do you feel like, do you think now is the time to sit back? Because everyone should have a period of time just to sit back and relax and have fun, enjoy themselves. But you also don't want to miss opportunities and have that certain window. Right now, you have the looks for being, you are going to be a great actor, so you have to look for it. But at the same time, you don't want to kind of wait. So, for an example, if you said, let's do nothing for 6 months, but then you look back and say, I missed an opportunity to be on Nickelodeon. I could have done an opportunity to be on Hawaii Five-0. How do you know when it's good to sit back, but also not get lazy, but more be persistent at the same time?
yeah, I kind of feel like if you're gonna make it in this world, you can take a breather for a minute, but you still have to stay vigilant. Like you have to be ready to go. But if you're gonna take a break, I would just keep up your game. Do a few like practices here and there. So whenever if you're just chilling out, taking a break, just enjoying your life, and then a big opportunity comes, you can't just be like, oh, I haven't acted in 2 months. You go. It's crazy how in like 2 months you don't realize it, but sometimes your experience just like fades, and as much as quick learning helps, sometimes you just have to. Sometimes it just takes a while. But I just think you should stay vigilant, stay ready, because like if you're constantly practicing your craft, but you're not doing jobs, then you'll kind of build up a kind of talent instead of just doing a few jobs here and there. If you do a small amount of things again and again and again and again, you'll eventually build up experience, and you can't buy experience. Experience is only something you can get over time with like personal work.
No, absolutely. And you have to have the heart and passion for it.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the show over to you for the last 4 minutes.
Cool.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about, anything you wanted to promote? This is your time.
Well, on your topic, like, about that children's event, so we do this every year. Normally we do it live, but this year we were having to do it virtual because we didn't want to have all the restrictions, because if we just couldn't do our impact, we couldn't really reach our goals with all these restrictions, because some of the things just make it, well, we can't exactly do that, and it's important. So we have this editor, his name is Michael. He's an awesome guy. And he has autism, but he's an awesome video director. Like he video editor, and he does all of our video editing, and it's fantastic. And I just think like sometimes those kind of things make you stronger as a person. And I find high levels of respect for people who are proud of what can make you stronger if you use it in the right ways.
No, absolutely. Like I said, if you have the heart and passion, that will take you places.
Yeah, because
No, go ahead.
Because in this industry, it's all about talent's half of the deal. The other part, you just have to have the determination and willpower to do your thing, which is why if you're doing it but you're not having fun, because you're supposed to have fun. That's the goal. In the end, you're supposed to have had a good time, instead of being like, that was kind of boring, but but it got food in your stomach. But it should be enjoyable.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
Wrapping up our interview segment, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
I'm on Instagram, Rehett.Drennenn. You can go follow me there. Also, I have a music channel. It's called Rhett and Sophia. I sing with my friend. Her name's Sophia. She's fantastic. You can go check her out on Instagram as well. But I think those are about the only platforms for now. But, I mean, you could always stay tuned. Following is very appreciated, or subscribing. It's very appreciated. It means more than you know.
And actually, I do want to give a little shout out to Sophia. Sophia Swift. She was actually a guest on my show.
Oh, yeah.
And the last question, I want you to be completely, brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? What made you say yes? And after being a guest, how do you feel now? And would you recommend it to other people?
I would totally recommend this. It's a great skill to have the ability to reflect, because this has been nice because it's really helped me reflect on where I've come and where I've been. And I think it's great for your growth as a professional working person to be able to reflect, because it also it boosts your mental game. And like I said before, that was half the battle. So I definitely recommend this to anybody out there. It's a great experience, and thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been such a pleasure.
No, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Hi guys, my name is Kat Johnston.
This is Donna Drake.
This is Kayleen.
Hi, my name is Kara Svuchek.
I'm Julia Brothers.
Jenna Curtis.
Hey, I'm Jenny Fine.
Hi, it's Mimi Chin.
Hi, my name is Ella Dorsch.
My name is Shauna Toft.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Actress Becky Hayes.
Hi, I'm Amelia Rose.
Hey there, I'm Saki Mieta.
Hi guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrews' show.